Kilkenny taking that first step towards what they hope will be an All-Ireland win in 6 years waiting under Brian Cody. Well, he's named a side full of experience. One championship newcomer though, and Dara Corcoran at wing back. He'll be helped by players of the calibre of Owen Murphy, Hugh Lawler and Pádraig Walsh, who've done it all before at this level. There are 3 late changes, one in midfield with Richie Leahy joining Richie Reid, who finally makes his first championship start 7 years after joining the panel. There are 2 switches to the half-forward line. Mossy Keown and Alan Murphy both in from the start, and having been sidelined last season with a knee injury, the team is captained by 21-year-old Adrian Mullen. The attack is always led by TJ Reid, who racked up 118 against Wexford in the league 7 weeks ago. Well, Wexford certainly flexed their muscles in their demolition of Laois last weekend. Davy Fitzgerald has named the same 15, 13 of which started that Leinster final in 2019. Goalkeeper Mark Fanning, fullback Liam Ryan and joint captain Matty O'Hanlon provide a rock-solid spine to the team. Lee Chin joins Diarmuid O'Keefe and Nemo McGovern in that middle third, but Rory O'Connor and Conor MacDonald were relied upon for the bulk of the scores. In the corner, Mikey Dwyer retains his place, having made his championship debut against Laois, while Kevin Foley will wear 15, but will spend most of his time likely covering the full back line in that sweeper role. Well, as Davey was saying, it's great to have the fans back, and it's also great to see these 2 men in the sideline again, Brian Cody and Davy Fitzgerald, as we hear Aaron Devine at Croke Park. Match referee Fergal Horn of Tipperary took charge of Kilkenny's last championship game, that All-Ireland semi-final defeat to Waterford in November. That was a thrilling game. Let's hope for more of the same. We've already seen a shock this afternoon with Dublin beating Galway in the first of today's Leinster Championship semi-finals. This is the second of 3 of our championship triple header here in Sky Sports this afternoon. Don't forget Limerick and Cork still to come, as Kilkenny look to break the deadlock just seconds after the throw-in, and that's exactly what they have done. The opening score of the day coming from Richie Reid, his first ever score in championship hurling, and Anthony Nash. It took less than 10 seconds to arrive.
Yeah, great score. It was interesting, the throw in there, that Wexford had no man inside in the Kilkenny 45, so they pushed up to try and win the throw and fired back against them, and a great score there from Kilkenny to settle the nerves.
Here's the Wexford joint captain Matty O'Hanlon, dispossessed on that far side, but will be a line ball for Wexford. The weather conditions have improved considerably from what they were like a bit earlier on, when we had a lot of rain, a lot of wind as well, but it's much drier. The sun is even making an attempt to peek out from behind the clouds here in North Dublin. Lovely bit of play from TJ Reid, another dispossession to his credit. Kilkenny looking to build on that good start. Across it comes to Paddy Deegan, who's done very well to pull that down from the air. The man from the O'Loughlin Gaels club just outside Kilkenny City. Long direct ball in, and it's very well dealt with by Simon Donoghue. Almost lost it on his way out. Here's Lee Chin. Can't get around the back though of Owen Cody. Cody from the All-Ireland club champions Ballyhale Shamrocks doesn't get the contact on that you would have liked, and through it goes to Mark Fanning. Wexford, the slow, methodical, deliberate build-up. Lee Chin trying to find some space for Rory O'Connor. Taking him on in the opening exchanges is Conor Brown. O'Connor's found the space for the shot. It's an acute angle, and what a way to open Europe out. It's a cracking score, and we're level.
And it's a great score there from Rory O'Connor. Wexford have really kind of packed the middle third here, and there was no forward again inside the 45 for a while there, and it just seems to be a tactic that they try to persist with. Kilkenny got some turnovers there already early on, so it just looks like the middle third is going to be a very interesting battle. See who regains the possession the most.
O'Connor picking up from where he left off against Laois, which he scored 1-4. There is Foley, wearing 15, but he'll be playing in front of his full back line. A lot of bodies around that middle third. It's a real scrum in there at the moment. But Kilkenny bring it away through Dara Corcoran, who pressed so much for Ballyhale on their run to the All-Ireland title last year. And he's getting his chance at senior inter-county level now. Not the best or cleanest of strikes from Adrian Mullen. So 3 minutes in, a couple of scores on the board already. And he's got a very good record against Kilkenny, Davy Fitzgerald. He's come out on top on 8 occasions in 14 games against Kilkenny while Wexford manager. Brian Cody's been managing against Wexford for 23 years now. It's his 106th championship match in charge. He was there before you even began your career, Anthony.
He's one of the greatest of all time. I remember meeting him for the first time. I played college hurling with his son, and you know, I'd only seen him on TV at the time, and next thing he walked up to shake my hand, and I had to look up a fair distance to meet him eye to eye. He's a big man. He's a imposing figure on the sideline for that many years.
There's TJ Reid, 118 in that league meeting, which was won in double-digit scores by Kilkenny 7 weeks ago now. 334 in just 3 championship games in 2020. It's untypical of him to fire that to the right and wide, the first wide of the game. We saw in the first game Joe Canning on the place balls for Galway had a bit of trouble with the elements in that first half. TJ Reid not finding the target with his first attempt. Here come Wexford again now. Given up by Liam McGovern. It's fallen kindly though for Leach in, who just had a quick peek at the post, decided it was well within his range, and that looks like a pretty good decision.
It's a great score. Davy seems to encourage him to take the long shots when it's not on, and in fairness they have some serious talent. Leach in there with a great score.
It's often difficult to get a grab on the wind here at Croke Park, but we do feel like it's heading in towards Hill 16, behind the backs of these Wexford players in this first half. Missed control there by Paul Morris, gathered by Tommy Walsh. And there's his cousin, Pádraig Walsh now. Lovely bit of fielding and a chance now for Kilkenny. And Owen Cody off the post and wide. Well, the referee was playing advantage for the Ballyhale man. Kilkenny will still leave with the score, but it could have been so much more.
That's the one thing that might unlock this Wexford defence, is if we can gain a possession. If they can gain possession directly into hand and take on their man. They'd only 2-on-2 inside there. The sweeper wasn't back far enough there. He's fierce and lucky, just off the post and out for well, the advantage is being played, as you said. Interesting one there just before that, Simon O'Donoghue, when the last player Leachin got the score. Simon O'Donoghue, named the cornerback, was up in the opposite 45 looking for the pass. Wexford seemed to just abandon their shapes at times just to get the overlapping run.
Cody, the reigning young hurler of the year, didn't get his score, but TJ Reid has his. And it's Settler right in front of the post for him after that early miss. Great to see the supporters, young and old, back at Croke Park. We've been too long without them, as Mark Fanning, now 30 years of age, so experienced. His 35th championship appearance gets Wexford back up and running. Out it goes to Kevin Foley. And he sends it long. Down on top of that inside forward line. Mikey Dwyer in there as well, as was Paul Morris. But Kilkenny had the numbers. Deegan now. And Kilkenny, like Wexford, going direct. 2-on-1 in Wexford's favour, but the numbers aren't counting for them. It's a brilliant piece of defending, though, from Foley, who somehow got the block in, and that Owen Cody goal-bound effort.
That's an incredible block there, and that's the ball again that I spoke about. Kilkenny direct ball in, and Cody has a great hand and open up another goal scoring opportunity.
Well, if ever we saw the importance of the sweeper, that was it right there. It looked like he'd been beaten. Here's Shane Reck now. Determination as he broke that first tackle. And Wexford looking for another score from long range, and they have it as well. It's a really good score, delivered from midfield by Diarmuid O'Keefe.
Yeah, they got a lot of long-range scores against Laois last week. Laois allowed them have the puck out short, and they were just shooting from distance. As I said earlier, they don't seem to have a fear. But what a great tackle here That's a very brave block there from Kevin Foley, and a definite goal-scoring block.
Kilkenny looking to respond immediately. And Richie Reid with his second. He's only ever played once in Championship hurling. It was back in 2017 off the bench. And spent much of his time, Anthony, on this Kilkenny panel as a sub-goalkeeper.
Yeah, Patrick Horgan slagged me as soon as I come outside the small square. I was like a fish out of water. So he seems to be a lot better of multitasking himself and Owen Murphy.
He's done a lot of his damage over the years in club hurling at the field for Ballyhale, and now he's strutting his stuff on the biggest stage in intercounty level. Again, Wexford bring that ball away from that ruck. Leach in, such strength and physicality. Few will beat him in a battle on the ground, and it should be an opportunity for Wexford to take the lead again. Eventually he managed to drive himself through those Kilkenny bodies, and he's going to take this free himself. 9 points in that Leinster decider 2 years ago. Already with one from play. That low trajectory straight over the black spot. A second for him. And the first semi-final took a little bit of time to hot up. A pretty good start here. Again, Kilkenny getting the better of Wexford in those aerial duels down in that Wexford full-back line. Mullen now, full of speed and power and tricks as well. He's such a talent at such a young age. That may be overturned as he flung Dermot O'Keefe out of his way. And the referee is going to throw that up, and Brian Cody won't be pleased with that, Anthony.
No, but Kilkenny seem to be getting opportunities of goals there. It was a last-ditch tackle from Sean Murphy, and then eventually a foul that stopped Adrian Mullen from getting through, and I'm sure Davy Fitz won't be overly happy with that either. Like, without the foul there, he was in on goal again, so it'll be something they're looking at.
I thought the referee had signalled that he was going to throw that ball in, but it is another chance for TJ Reid. He's now just 1 point short of 50 in Championship hurling against Wexford, TJ Reid, and we're level again. Fanning goes short. Kilkenny allowing Wexford these short puck-outs and then engaging them as Reid tried to do there, and Hugh and Liam Ryan rather. The referee was playing an advantage for Wexford. Well, it was a dismal championship, Anthony, for Wexford last season. They never got out of first gear and really surrendered that Leinster title rather meekly. Will Davy Fitzgerald be pleased by this start they've made here?
Absolutely. Like, I think it's a big year for Wexford with the talk that we've had over the winter. Was Davy staying or going? And, you know, I think they're going to look. There's still talk that it might be his last year down there, but they've bought him so well. He's done such a great job with him. The one thing for me there in the sharp puckouts is like Kilkenny are allowing Wexford have the ball. And when they work it out to midfield, they're allowing them into scoring range, but the intensity compared to Leach last week was far superior. So it should be an interesting tactic there to see how it falls out for the game.
Well, it certainly looks likely that any fouls committed by Kilkenny defenders are going to be punished. Leach in looks to be very much in the mood here. 10.5 minutes into this first half. Here is TJ Reid getting the other side of Manny O'Hanlon and looking for an option inside, flicked away brilliantly by Shane Reck. Another quality piece of defending from that Wexford full back line. They'll have more defending to do now, though, as Kilkenny look for an opening. Back out it goes to Richie Lahey. A late addition to this starting 15. Tommy Walsh looking for a pass, but he's closed down. Paul Morris now has it. And a chance for Rory O'Connor, looking for his second, both from underneath the Cusick stand. And Wexford lead by 2.
Oh, that's a fantastic score, and that all started with Shane Rex putting his body in the line to stop a guaranteed goal again. Another latch-ditch tackle from Wexford. It's great defending, but they will still be worried about the amount of opportunities Kilkenny are getting in close to goal.
O'Connor, who lost provincial finals on minor and 21 level to Kilkenny over the years. That's broken out to Leach in. Hands off the challenge of TJ Reid and changes the angle of this Wexford attack. Now, Liam McGovern. He's looking to follow Rory O'Connor's example. He maybe doesn't quite have the ability from that sort of range as the inside forward. Kilkenny going long with those puckouts. Foley now. It's away from Mossy Keogh. Simon Donoghue. They're just going through the lines pretty easily now, Wexford. Settling into this familiar pattern of play, but knowing what they'll bring to the game and dealing with it, often two very different things. Lee Chin. Set upon by Billy Ryan, and he just opted for the pass this time. Chin mixing it up, putting O'Hanlon into the space, and Wexford are starting to motor now.
They're working the ball through the line because, again, they've only one player inside the 45, which means they've the extra bodies to work it through the hands, and they're really persisting with that. I've never come across that before as a player. When we played them, they always had one or two inside, but they're really persisting with the extra bodies in midfield today.
It's a fourth ever point in the championship for Matty O'Hanlon. It looked to be a foul and Simon Donoghue, but play continues. Cross it goes to Sean Murphy. Flicks it towards O'Connor. He's off his left side this time. And he hasn't managed to come up with the same result. Second wide of the game for Wexford. There is Owen Murphy now, man with 4 Ireland medals tucked away, 2 of them in the field of play, 2 watching on from the bench. That looked to be a foul on Billy Ryan, who had half a shirt in the hands of a Wexford defender. The referee does come back for another foul, and it'll be another opportunity for TJ Reid. And that has not gone down well with the Wexford manager. His 5th season in charge now, facing Kilkenny in the championship with 3 different counties after Clare and Kilkenny and Waterford, or Clare, Waterford and Wexford rather. Reid looking for his 3rd. He scored 19 points across the 2 meetings in 2019. He signs Drew in the Leinster round-robin stage. And Wexford coming out on top in that final. Here's Foley. And let's saunter out with that ball. And that's a foul on Rory O'Connor. Not a decision that Hugh Lawler agrees with.
Rory O'Connor's after a great start to the game. He's a very influential player for Wexford. You're talking about Lee Chin, Conor McDonald and Rory O'Connor. If the 3 of them can fire, they're the 3 best hurlers in the country. So Rory's after having a great start to the game so far.
The last 5 championship meetings of these sides have resulted in 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. It's a real shift in the balance of power in this fixture that was previously dominated by Kilkenny. They'd won the previous 7. Only that shock win in 04. A smashing grab from Wexford, the outlier in that period. Another one over by Lee Chin, who's already got 4. So again, Wexford pressing high, going man for man. And watching as Kilkenny send this one long. Almost taken by Matty O'Hanlon. Real battle for supremacy on the deck over there. In the sunshine now, thankfully, at Croke Park. Adrian Mullen almost had it on his early. And he's still scrapping away in there. In the end, it's a line ball for Wexford.
Going back to that stat of the 2-1-2, Davy Fitz came in around then and introduced this system. It was a very difficult system to play against, you know, and the shift of forwards have come with that as well. In fairness, we have to give them credit for that.
Kilkenny beat them by a point in the group stage in 2018, but Wexford also beat them in 2017 in Davy's 1st season in charge. A memorable night in the sunshine down at Wexford Park. All the way back to their goalkeeper Mark Fanning now. 8 years on since his championship debut against Dublin. This is Donoghue. The break's put on by Conor McDonald, who hasn't seen much of the ball. It's been all Lee Chin and Rory O'Connor. But maybe Mikey Dwyer will now have a say in this Wexford attack, being buffeted and harried from left and from right. And it's still there for Wexford. Out it comes to Morris. He just takes a backward step but goes the wrong side of that left-hand post.
Great determination there, but great defending from Kilkenny as well. Like with the new rule in, if he'd have gone to ground there, penalty, potentially yellow card. So they were very disciplined there and holding him up and making him play the pass at the end.
Kilkenny can't gather this one at the first time of asking, but they may have an opportunity now as Billy Ryan breaks into the space. Got a call off his shoulder from Adrian Mullen. And the captain gets his first score of this Leinster semi-final. And there is the first water break. We've had 14 scores in 18 minutes. It's been really entertaining stuff. Let's get the early thoughts of our panellists.
Yeah, look, I think in the first quarter there, I think Kilkenny are failing to kind of get to the pitch of it so far. I think Wexford, deserved their 2-point lead. I've been impressed with Wexford composure. I think they made a couple of scores there where they recycled the ball a couple of times, and that was excellent from Wexford. So as Davy said before the game, we have to stick to the plan, or else we're doomed. So I think Wexford are doing that, and I think they deserve their 2-point lead.
Just from Kilkenny point of view, they're going along with the puckouts as well, and they're getting a bit of joy from it. Owen Cody grabbed a couple of balls. I was unlucky, and lucky again, we're talking about the benefits of the sweeper. Kevin Foley was between Owen Cody and the goal as well, and for that he was 2 strikes straight and through and goal. So look, Kilkenny will have to up their work rate. Lee Chin is having a big influence on the game. I think Wexford are looking for him at every occasion because he's strong enough to break the tackle as well, and Kilkenny are conceding a few frees, which Lee is scoring as well. Special mention to Rory O'Connor as well. Had 2 brilliant points under the sideline. Missed one. Actually, these are opportunity he missed. So again, before the game we needed them, Lee Chin, Rory O'Connor, to have a big game. They're having a big 17 minutes so far, so up to Kilkenny to counteract this.
Okay, Ollie and Jamesy, who are in situ in Semple Stadium ahead of this evening's clash of Limerick and Cork in the Munster Hurling Championship. The focus on Leinster here. Wexford looking to set up a first Leinster final meeting with Dublin in 60 years. And they're 2 points to the good here at the moment, an awful long way to go. Here is O'Hanlon. Space to move into. Kilkenny, you feel, just need to up the intensity a little. That was a lazy pull coming in from Richie Leahy there, and he may well end up in the book after that, and he certainly felt it, Rory O'Connor.
It looks like a sign of frustration really for Kilkenny. Wexford are getting their sharp puckouts, and normally when a full backline player gets the ball, he's getting it on the 21, but they're actually setting up near the 45. So every time they're getting possession, it's one pass and they're back out to midfield. So they're on the front foot, and I think it's a great tactic. They come in close together, last second split, and then Mark Fanning's picking off one of them.
We missed that All-Ireland semi-final defeat to Waterford last year with injury. Richie Leahy also had a hamstring problem in the early rounds of the leagues this year, but fully fit and able to play his part here today. This was the foul. He just had a little go at him as he went beyond him, and it afforded Lee Chin another chance to add to his ever-increasing tally. Well, he has been error-free, Lee Chin, and as long as Kilkenny keep giving him the chances, he'll likely continue to do that. The lead is 3. Everyone gathered around that middle spine of this Croke Park field. Kilkenny have done well in at least breaking most of those balls in the air. That took a nick on the way through. It will be a 65 off the effort of Owen Cody.
Just before that puck, Owen Murphy threw up his 2 hands there, and all of a sudden all the Kilkenny players come into the middle. It's obviously a worked on puck out, and it's something that they might need to do, just get the ball to ground, fight for it, because there's no better team than Kilkenny in a ruck scenario. So maybe something like that might be helpful rather than isolating a 1-on-2, unfortunately, with Wexford with Foley around the place. So at least they have a chance for 65 in the score.
Should have kept this man very quiet and open play so far. Bar that early miss. He's found his range pretty quickly, and that is his 4th. Now 33 years of age, the genius that is TJ Reid. They still rely very heavily upon him, although a lot of young talent in and around him now. Fanning down on top of Lee Chin, who's scrapping with Dara Corcoran for it. Chin comes out with the ball, but without his hurley. He needs to improvise, and that's exactly what he does. Morris looking for a shooting opportunity. Flings it almost in the direction of Mikey Dwyer. And Dwyer has pulled that across the face of the post and wide. Murphy wastes no time in getting the game back up and running. Looking for a chance was Mullen, and a chance maybe of a goal here for Kilkenny, and stretching for it was Mossy Joe. A little too much weight on the hand pass into him. And Wexford can build between the lines again. Bit of space in front now for Conor McDonald, who's been kept very quiet. This could be the spark he needs to get into this game. And they're a little unsure, the two umpires, so we will go to Hawkeye for the first time in this opening half. You feel, Anthony, McDonald could do with this one. He's been on the fringes thus far.
Yeah, like both TJ Reid and Conor McDonald probably haven't had the open play games that they've wanted, especially TJ Reid there. The goal scoring opportunity there, it's an interesting thing there. Like before games, the referees come up and tell goalkeepers that if it's wide or low, go faster. So that puck out actually came from Owen Murphy a lot faster, which didn't allow Wexford to set up. And he's after giving it there, so that is good for Conor McDonald.
Well, 2-4 against Laois, Conor McDonald. He's up and running now, 22 minutes into this first half. They've re-established that 3-point lead. Looking for this one is Alan Murphy. And McDonald hasn't seen much of the ball so far. Spinning into the space really well was the man we've just mentioned. McDonald's got into this game. Murphy has now as well. And the lead is back to 2.
Interesting to see this pick-up. It was either an exceptional one or an illegal one, but he was inside the rock of players there. You couldn't see it there in the replay either. Great pick-up and a great score. And like Conor a while ago, it's good for him too to get on the scoreboard.
His top scorer in that brilliant Kilkenny minor side that won the All-Ireland 7 years ago now. The years have gone very quickly since. Line ball for the Cats. It'll be taken by Paddy Deegan. Under the nose of his manager, Brian Cody. Deegan was a mere 3 years old when Brian Cody took the reins as Kilkenny manager. TJ Reid flick behind, looking for Owen Cody. It's really good work from Shane Rack. It feels from the Kilkenny forwards that he'd foul the ball on his way through. Mikey Dwyer, and that's a 3 out for Wexford.
Kevin Foley, strangely number 15 so far back the field, but in fairness he's after sitting right into that position, and he's a great attribute for Wexford to have. The importance about a sweeper, I suppose, is that positional sense, but also be able to hurl the ball, especially for Wexford. The way they work the ball out the field, and in fairness he's after having a good start to the game, some great tackling, but also on the ball he's so influential, and even when the ball is dead, he's organising the other players to set up for the puck outs and stuff, so he's having a great influence in the game here.
And in that role he's likely to see more of the ball than any other Wexford defender, isn't he? Has to be able to play make as well as get himself into those defensive positions. Here's Mark Fanning. We saw Alan Nolan with a couple of brilliant scores on the goalkeeping position for Dublin. Mark Fanning looking to do likewise. But that wind is just coming over his right shoulder, and we could see it there. And that is Wexford's 5th wide. He got one against Laois. He does have 2-3 from place balls in his senior career, Mark Fanning. Wexford fouling as that ball was dropping in off that Owen Murphy puck out, spotted by the referee. And TJ Reid will have a chance to make it a 1-point game with 10 minutes remaining in this opening half.
Yeah, just a quick tug there. I was actually looking at him when he was coming out, quick pull there by Liam Ryan. And look, you don't want to give TJ Reid these opportunities. And just to go back to Mark Fanning's one there, it just that just shows the difficulty and the brilliance of TJ Reid and Lee Chin so far today about their frees. And there's something that shouldn't go kind of like, you know, unwarranted either. A free taker is so important to each team.
So Reid in the hunt for a 10th Leinster Senior Championship medal this season. Kenny, the reigning champions, he had a big part to play in that last year, and that is his 5th.
I just hate standing in goals for TJ Reid's frees because they're so low and directed. If you ever miss hit one, you're panicking that's just coming under the crossbar, but he's such a beautiful striker.
Never really clear more than a couple of yards over that back spot. A lot of air on this one from Fanning. And on top of Chin. Almost gathered by Gavin Bailey. Shunted over the sideline. It certainly appeared to be the case with Mikey Dwyer, but the linesman on that side thought he was still in the field of play. Drilled in towards the Kilkenny forwards. A clever play from Simon Donoghue. Just let the ball beat his body, knowing there was green grass in behind. Some of the decision-making from the Wexford full-backs in this first half have been excellent. That's poor, though. And will it be punished? It certainly will. Well, a mistake from Murphy, and taking full advantage was Owen Cody for his first.
Yeah, in fairness, the way the Wexford hurled, they're going to give up one or two, like, and they won't panic. It was just an unfortunate strike there with some great defending by Simon Donoghue. Great play to usher it around the corner to himself.
Blame Murphy, he was blameless. It was Paul Morris that gave the ball away. Over this time from Fanning. Spilled though by MacDonald. Reid helps it inside, where it's gathered by Mossy Keown. The call from Owen Cody. He's just got his first of the game, and he's doubled his tally inside another 60 seconds. He's starting to motor now as well.
It's not like Conor MacDonald to drop the ball like that. It was a great puck, well worked as well, and you can see when Kilkenny do get the ball in broken play, they're well to work it up the field, and a great score. No, gonna find the head.
Kilkenny hit the front for the first time in this game. 4 in a row from the Leinster champions. Brilliant take from Lee Chin, leading by example with his side just on the back foot at the moment. And it's well stopped by Owen Murphy. It did look like it was going to have enough to make it all the way. Murphy launches one inside, and it's caught brilliantly by O'Hanlon. Some excellent fielding in this first half from both sides. Here's Gavin Bailey. Turning into the tackle was Lee Chin, but he spun away from Richie Reid. And he's left him for dead as well, Lee Chin. Deceptively quick, this guy. Good vision as well. Gathered by MacDonald. And the referee is going to have to bring a hold to the play. And there was a collision just after Lee Chin laid that ball off. MacDonald didn't have the chance to pull the trigger. The referee may well be showing a second yellow card of this first half, and Wexford will be absolutely desperate for Lee Chin to come away from this knock unscathed, Anthony. He is so important.
What a passage play there, in fairness. Like, Lee Chin's catch, like, that's unbelievable. Like, it's a skill that I wouldn't say has gone out of the game, but, you know, isn't as evident as it used to be. Owen Murphy's great skill to bring it down, then Matthew O'Hanlon on the other side catching the ball, and then you see the brilliance of Lee Chin. Lee Chin's skill is phenomenal, but it's his athleticism, his strength, his power, and takes a heavy knock here now, and hopefully he'll get back up and ready to go, because you can hear the gasp from the Wexford supporters there now when you see the hit. It's a big hit from Paddy Deegan's a big strong man with him.
It's a shoulder to the chest of Lee Chin, but you have to ask, where was Paddy Deegan supposed to go? When Lee Chin is motoring at you, it's hard to get out of the way. Not that Deegan would be looking to do so, but he's on a yellow now for the remainder of this game. But in full flow, Anthony, he doesn't look like he's motoring, but my God, did he get away from the Kilkenny cover there.
He's an absolute, like, even to stand beside him on the field, he's an absolute athlete. Like, you know, he's in, like, we all talk about his skills and everything like that, but it's just the energy and the distance he covers in the field. But he's just so important to Wexford. Like, I think, look, he is Wexford's the man that makes him tick. Like, so it's good to see him back up and at it again.
And while he was getting some treatment, Paul Morris, an adept free taker himself, took responsibility. That's his first. Level again, approaching the half-hour mark. Bit of stick work initially there from Mossy Keown, but he gave it away when he was needed to pass. It found its way to Conor MacDonald, and he gets his second.
The big three Wexford forwards now are starting to click in now. Fair, Lee Chin, Conor MacDonald, Rory O'Connor, and that's a massive score. Like, again, in windy conditions, great score from Conor.
And Kilkenny have funneled into that middle part of the field. Breaks Simon Donoghue's way. That's the call from O'Hanlon. And now MacDonald seeing a bit more of the ball, which should only spell danger for Kilkenny and their defenders. Rory O'Connor, all of his efforts have been over on that Cusick stand side. He's 3 from 3 from that exact area in the field, Anthony, and that is incredible accuracy.
Oh, he's having an unbelievable start to the game, and it's the only team you ever see to play a ball over the top to a forward. They pull him so far out, and he is just unbelievable. They're great scores, like, and again, to feel the wind up here, just to show the skill level it takes to put it over.
3 on the spin now for Wexford. This time Kilkenny went long with the puck, went short rather, and Reid with maybe a goal opportunity. The referee had his hand in the air. The ball did end up going over the bar, and it is a 1-point game again.
That's what Kilkenny need to get TJ Reid into the game. It's a great take here. Just interesting to see, was he fouled? He went to ground under a foul, maybe a bit harsh.
And he came away with the score in the end. Fanning down the middle, spotted the run of Conor MacDonald. Again, it comes off the palm of his hand. Last time that happened, it led to a Kilkenny score. There's Dara Corcoran, his first taste of senior championship hurling today. Turning into the space is Mossy Keown. Well, that's twice now MacDonald's had a chance, Anthony, to gather off a Fanning puck out, and twice it's ended up over his own crossbar.
Yeah, and it was the same. I was going to comment on TJ Reid before he caught the last one. The two of them are so similar. They're trying extremely hard, and they're both all over the field. The ball's just spilling away, and unfortunately for Conor, the both times it has spilled away from Kilkenny have punished it and gotten 2 good scores.
Cody rolls it onto the bus of his hair and sees a lot of space down that left-hand side. Huge chance now for Kilkenny, and it's saved by Fanning. Well, Alan Murphy disgusted he hasn't sent that into the back of the net. And a really important stop from the Wexford number 1. Crucial minutes now before the break. MacDonald finds Rory O'Connor. Gavin Bailey, he was very well tackled by Adrian Mullen. This is Billy Ryan and Greg Ballycallan trying to get away from Shane Rack, who put in a really good tackle. The referee keeping the whistle to himself, didn't see anything untoward there, and the challenges have been given and taken. Oh, this is proper championship hurling. Simon Donoghue now, hooked brilliantly by Richie Lahey. And the ball is changing hands frequently. Deegan's ball down. It was taken well by Alan Murphy. Hunting this one down is Mossy Keown. This time the referee does spot a foul from Liam Ryan. And there'll be an opportunity for Reid to put Kilkenny back in front.
That passage of play put a smile on your face, but it's also the reason I'm a goalkeeper. There were some serious hits going in there. It was great play. Kilkenny be disappointed didn't have a goal just before it, though. You know, it was a great opportunity there, and I just don't think he struck it well, and it almost looked like Mark Fanning tried to catch it. It was a great save and worked it out, but that's a great passage play, and as you mentioned there, that's championship, and that might give the game a right good lift now.
Reid looking for his 7th. Over it goes. 26 scores in 27 scores in 34 minutes of championship hurling. Brian Cody knows that his side are in a real battle here, as is always the case when these two counties have met over the recent years. To go back to 97 for the last time Wexford won back-to-back championship meetings with Kilkenny, that great Wexford side of the 90s under Liam Griffin, and won 2 Leinster titles and an All-Ireland. It was a nice flick from Conor MacDonald, but there was no one waiting for it. Last few seconds of a pulsating first half. Long ball in again, and another brilliant piece of fielding. We could have a highlights reel of its very own from the aerial duels in this first half. Great hook on Liam McGovern, but he regathers and finds Bailey. Bailey off his left side. And it's brilliantly dealt with by Owen Murphy. 1 additional minute. The first half you don't really want to end. Richie Reid looking to guide one in towards Mullen, the two Ballyhale men combining. On his hands and knees was Conor Brown. This is Cody. Following him the whole way was Rory O'Connor, of all people. A full forward and a corner forward. Owen Cody comes out on top, and that's his third. What a star in the making this man is, just 20 years of age.
It's hard to believe he's that age. He's been around so long with Ballyhale Shamrocks. But Kilkenny will be delighted. They're 2 points ahead, and they've already created 2 or 3 good chances for goals as well. And the way Wexford have hurled, it's like it just took me a second to look at the scoreboard and realise Kilkenny have gone 2 ahead. So Brian Cody will be delighted with that.
Wexford could do one more before the break. Great take from MacDonald, and he may well just force one more score. And we could have the bare minimum between them heading back into those changing rooms.
It's great to see, isn't it? The fielding, it's been unbelievable. It's been a major feature of the first half here, and it's great to see that fellas are willing to put up their hand and grab that ball as well, like, you know, because it's something, as I said earlier, like, teams are starting to knock the ball down in breaks, but when you have the lads like that are out in the field today, like, to see it is just, it's a beautiful sight.
Well, there you are. 11 balls contested in the air, cleanly won 7 times by Wexford. There's Lee Chin looking for his 6th. It's bent in off the left side, over it goes, and that score has left this game on a knife edge at half-time. A really good first half. They've gone score for score. 35 minutes in here at Croke Park, everything to play for, with a place in the Leinster final at stake. It is Kilkenny leading Wexford by 15 points to 14. We'll have analysis next.
Let's head back then to Dave McIntyre and Anthony Nash.
Yes, thank you, Grania. So away we go again. Really good first half, high on quality. And after such a high-scoring league campaign, Anthony, in which there was a lot of hand-wringing about where hurling was going, every score today has been so hard to come by. And that is just tailed to the right and wide off Rory O'Connor, who couldn't miss in the first half.
Yeah, that's always tends to be the trend. The league will do one thing, and next thing all of a sudden, come championship, referees will kind of like ease off at the whistle as well, and it turns it into obviously a far better spectacle, and that's what has happened today.
Double change for Kilkenny at the break. James Marr and Conor Fogarty. Fogarty's so experienced coming in. Brian Cody clearly feeling his side need a lift at the beginning of the second half. Here's Dermot O'Keefe. That is well short into the hands of Owen Murphy. Playing in the championship for the 40th time today, the Kilkenny #1. It fell neatly into the arms of Mossy Keown, targeting TJ Reid, who has Matty O'Hanlon all over his back. Reid looking for some support, and he gets it from Owen Cody, who had 3 excellent scores in that first half. Here is Reid, 13 years a senior, 2 men from Ballyhale. And Reid from play hasn't quite been on it as yet, but it only takes a moment for him to break a game wide open. It's the 3rd wide of the game for Kilkenny, who've been pretty economical with the chances they've taken. It's gathered by Rory O'Connor, just about keeps the ball in the field. It was beyond the hurley of Conor MacDonald and picked up by Tommy Walsh. Murphy, a lot of time to study his options, decides to go after Reid again. And it was a good call as well, as Reid turns and spins. And the delay eventually sees the white flag being raised.
Kilkenny need him. He's after a good start now to the second half there, and in fairness to Matthew O'Hanlon, had a decent first half. But that's exactly what TJ can do. Like you said, he just takes him 1 split second, and there's a goal in the back of the net, and Kilkenny will be piling on. So they're just looking for a bit more in the second half, and his aerial threat is obviously massive.
Doubles that half-time lead. Puck out spilled by Gavin Bailey. Here come Kilkenny again. Paddy Deegan, a rare foray forward for him from cornerback. Puffed up possession. Looking to win it back was Richie Reid, and it's fallen to TJ Reid. With a space out wide for Conor Fogarty, his first touch since coming in, and it's a pretty good first touch as well.
TJ's really getting into it now. That was a great hand pass and layoff, and he attracts so many people to him that the other players do get loose, like Conor Fogarty here, and that's a great score.
Another member of this Kilkenny panel with his 4 All-Ireland medals, Conor Fogarty. Left out of the starting 15. He's got this full second half to impose himself. Worrying for Wexford. They trail by 3, having led by 3 at one stage in the first half. Here is Chin. Looking to lead them back towards parity. He may do it in one fell swoop, Lee Chin. Oh, Morris looking to gather it now. But he was closed down really well by the Kilkenny defence, Lee Chin. That goal chance snuffed out. Here it's a crucial period of the game. Kilkenny are on top. Wexford have to try and hold on to their coattails. Rory O'Connor flicked away from him, and it'll be a line ball for Wexford.
If I was a Kilkenny person, I'd be unhappy over in the corner that Hugh Lawler didn't get a free. But he got fouled and was put in the ground, and he was the guy that makes the last-ditch tackle here. If you watch this, what a great hook. Like, that just showed unbelievable determination to get back in. He was the one that was potentially fouled out and came all the way back in and stopped a certain goal again.
Considered going short through Conor McDonald, but it's a pretty nice strike off the sideline cut. There wasn't a teammate in the vicinity of it. Spinning around was Richie Reid, and he did well to find Alan Murphy. That would be a Wexford ball. Kilkenny that sent it back in. Good work again from Alan Murphy. And taken by Paddy Deegan. Himself for the short ball. Deegan goes long, swiped off the ground. There's the sweeper in Foley. He's a little isolated, Foley, dispossessed, and Reid, almost like he's hitting a free, strikes that one clean and through, and it's another one for him in this second half, and his 9th in total, and the lead is now 4.
We spoke about at half-time that he wasn't in the game as much as he used to be. 5 minutes and he's absolutely stormed into the game again, and Brian Cole would be delighted to see him being so influential so far.
3 from play, which is as many as any other player on the pitch at the moment. Hanlon look at the feed one down towards Mikey Dwyer. He's done well to try and make this at least a scrap. The ball had gone beyond him, but he's lying on and around the ball. That will be thrown in by the referee. Already, Anthony, you feel Wexford need the next score here?
Absolutely, especially when it's TJ Reid is doing all the damage for Kilkenny. Like, he's not only, when he gets a score, he helps his teammates and lifts his teammates as well. Wexford do need to settle down, and one of their big 3 need to come back into it like they were in the first half.
There's Morris, back from Murphy. Out that ball well towards Conor McDonald. Well, he is one of those big 3 you mentioned, but he can't find the target. 7th wide of the game for Wexford. Here's Adrian Mullen. Diagonal ball inside. Out front was Liam Ryan. He's on the ball now. He needs to play it here. He's taken it a long way, but he's lost it, and he's now out of position. Richard have won it straight back, and now a bit of space for Liam McGovern. Time to set his feet and strike. And over it goes, and Wexford needed that one, his 2nd of the game.
Kilkenny have upped the intensity as well. All those Wexford chances, bar that one, have been from the wing and under pressure. Again, they're pushing him outside. It's a great score. I thought Alan Murphy was going to stop his 3rd point of the game, but just snuck over.
2 in that Leinster final a couple of years ago, Liam McGovern. A couple against Laois last weekend as well. Brilliant take from Sean Murphy, trying to get away from Billy Ryan. The referee was playing advantage. He'll come back for a previous foul on Murphy as he was trying to drive into the space.
Great to see another take again in the air.
There's the foul. The result of that will be an opportunity for Mark Fanning. His penalty against Kilkenny, the decisive moment of that provincial final a couple of years ago. He's worked it short this time. Charge into the tackle was Kevin Foley. It was a bit of a misjudgment from him. Massey Keown. He was trying to flick it to his left where Billy Ryan was, but unfortunately for him, Dermot O'Keefe was also there. Bats it off the ground. The other side really treating the ball like it should be treated at the moment, giving it away frequently. Chin sees some space ahead of Mikey Dwyer. And Dwyer chose to go directly into the contact, and he may well regret that decision now. And the referee really allowing this game flow. Bailey, he's fouled. And Wexford had a chance to trim another point off the arrears.
Kilkenny have really upped their intensity so far in the second half, and not only have they upped the intensity, seem to be pushing more up on the Wexford defenders, so they're putting them under pressure from an earlier stage. While in the first half they were going to come to the 45 and deliver in. So it's an interesting start to the second half. They seem to have gotten a foothold in the game, and Wexford do need this one to settle them down again.
Well, that's a booking for Tommy Walsh. So two of that Kilkenny full back line now on a yellow. Danny Deegan the other.
Kilkenny backs are well used to being on yellow cards, JJ will tell you that. There's no fear of them. But the physicality in the tackle again there that went through, I think it was actually Hugh Lawler again that came out to stop the goal there from Mike Dwyer. Was a great tackle again. That's the sign of the game, showed the part of the game that Kilkenny are very good at.
So seventh for Lee Chin. Another change being made by Brian Cody. John Donnelly comes in. Billy Ryan being withdrawn. Fifth season on the panel, John Donnelly. He was nominated for an All-Star last year, a really good championship. Fired out by Murphy. Somehow managed in the air very well by Adrian Mullen. He took the shot on himself, but never really looked set for it. Fourth Kilkenny wide. Brian Cody immediately on his case. The scores haven't been coming quite as frequently as they did in the first half, but you can't take your eye off it. Conor Brown. Again, Reid, always the target. Quickly onto it is Shane Wreck. Back for Fanning. Falling down towards Liam McGovern. It was good work from Paddy Deegan under that ball, just broke it. And he's on the ball again here. Knew he had Richie Reid for company outside him. In towards Owen Cody. He's trying Liam Ryan out the field with him. Cody drilled that ball inside to Mossy Keown, but there were two men on him, including Lee Chin. And here come Wexford and Liam McGovern. Chin now towards Paul Morris. And Wexford can ill afford a lack of precision from those shooting opportunities.
The game might seem like it's gone a bit scrappy, but the physicality is unbelievable. It's easier to watch it from up here. Turnover here again for Wexford.
Paul Morris just saw Dermot O'Keefe crash straight into the oncoming challenge. It may well be another booking. And it's Paddy Deegan that was the scene. Hugh Lawler was the man with the second challenge. He isn't now going to be booked, so he's managed to avoid blotting his copybook for now. Jack O'Connor is going to be coming in. O'Connor will be in for Wexford shortly. We'll be hoping that when he does come in, it'll be a one-point game. And the lead was out at 4, but they've just kept chipping away at it. Down to the bare minimum. That wide ball from Paul Morris, his last contribution to the game. Jack O'Connor comes in, another very experienced operator, his 23rd championship appearance. The brother of Rory, his cousin Joe on the bench, and of course, what a hurling family it is. George and John from that great side from '96. Finally trying to break his way out from that Kilkenny press, and he's done so, and now there's a bit of space for Gavin Bailey. Finds Mikey Dwyer, who wants to run at this Kilkenny defence, who are a little outnumbered at the moment. Immediately into the game is Jack O'Connor, looking to flick the ball over his shoulder, but the pressure told in the end. Well, that was a real chance, Anthony. They butchered it.
Yeah, Jack O'Connor's a massive player for Wexford, and just to see the overlapping opportunity there again, it probably should have been a score, really, to be honest.
And Murphy knocked down. And Shane Wreck is having a big second half. Just a pull on his shoulder, and there goes the whistle.
I was unfortunately here in '96. My two uncles were playing for Limerick that day, so I don't really appreciate you bringing up that memory.
Anytime Wexford are going well in Croke Park, it tends to be mentioned. They haven't reached an All-Ireland final since. Came so close a couple of years ago when they really ran Tipperary in the last four. Went on to win the All-Ireland. Here is Mark Fanning. He's decided he's going to go for this one. And he certainly caught all of it, but just lacked in the direction, and they're now into double figures on the wides count, Wexford. There's Owen Murphy, who's scored 10 championship points himself in his time. Ball breaking off Liam McGovern. As many years as he spent on this sideline, the hunger has never dimmed, and it doesn't look like it will anytime soon. 11 All-Ireland wins in his time. Kilkenny 6 years without bringing Liam McCarthy back to the county now. The longest wait without the All-Ireland since they went from '93 to 2000. Equipment just letting Foley down. And switch to red as we enter the final 20 minutes of this Leinster semi-final. The best of line balls from Wexford. And his hands and knees scrambling for it was Gavin Bailey. He'll come out with it. And it is Wexford through Simon O'Donoghue. Sean Murphy looks at the posts, decides it's within his gambit, and it absolutely was, and we're level for the 8th time in this game.
Yeah, I was saying during the week I thought it'd be the tightest game of the weekend, and it looks like it's going to be that. That's why you think that Wexford have such high wide counts during games. I wouldn't know their stats now too well, but they do take the shots when it's on, and a great score there again from Murphy.
Kenny looking to retake the lead here. Ball in the hand of Mossy Keown. Marr with his first touch, I think, since coming in, and he fires one over the bar. Seventh different score for Kilkenny today. Targeting Jack O'Connor, and he's beat to it in the air. Great piece of defensive play from Pádraig Walsh, but the ball inside is picked up by Liam Ryan, and back from where it began with Mark Fanning. Sees the run out wide from O'Connor, and that's where he's gone with it. It's inch perfect. O'Connor off his left side. He's caught that one brilliantly, and over it goes.
That's a great score. He was the guy that was actually beaten by Pádraig Walsh under the puck out on this wing, and about 10 seconds later he's over on the other wing. And just again, like all the other Wexford forwards, they must practice from the sideline lock is straight over the bar.
There was a mascot when Wexford beat Kilkenny in the Leinster final of 1997. This game is bubbling over nicely as we enter the second water break. Nothing between them. Let's get the thoughts of our studio panel down in Thurles.
And the 3 points from play as well at the start. TJ had a massive influence as well, but Wexford responded absolutely brilliant as well. They got 4 points from for the next 10 minutes. Kilkenny's after going probably 10 minutes without scoring as well. Important score from James Maher. So look, it's all tied up for a brilliant finish there again.
Yeah, it's turning out to be a good game. We probably haven't seen the intensity that we saw maybe in the first half during that quarter, but it's very, very tight, and Jack O'Connor's after coming on there getting a good score for Wexford. So again, the substitutions that happen now maybe in the last quarter, they will have to make an impact if they're brought off the bench. But all to play for, very tight as we suspected.
Well, Wexford really have come roaring back into the second half. They got 5 of the last 6 scores. And those who've been lucky enough to get their hands on a ticket have really been treated to entertainment in this double-header. And in the midst of that Wexford group, Davy Fitzgerald trying to do whatever he can to inspire them in this final quarter. Leinster final meeting with Dublin, the prize, a guaranteed All-Ireland quarter-final place would be the minimum for the winners. Brian Cody has been around the block often enough to know that these players have it within them to get this job done over the next 18 minutes or so. They regained the Leinster title last year. Well, do you want to call it from here, Anthony?
No, I think the guy coming on here that will have a big influence. I think Walter Walsh is. I was surprised he wasn't starting. I know he did an injury in the nose against Clare in the league, but for Kilkenny people, it'd be great to see him come on. He's such a huge man and has a great effect in the game, and he's calling for the first puck out already.
Former Ulster, former man of the match in an All-Ireland final. Great man to have in reserve, Walter Walsh. It's another trump card played by Brian Cody. Here is Foley. Liam McGovern now. Sean Murphy, he's only struck one over the bar a couple of minutes ago. Oh, that's brilliant, that's inspirational stuff from the wing-back.
2 massive scores, team-lifting scores, to be honest. I know they've pushed back into the lead, it's just nip and tuck the whole time.
I said, it just seems like a few minutes ago that Wexford needed the next score. Well, they've got 6 of the last 7, and they've got their noses back in front. And more of the breaking balls are now going their way. Here's Liam McGovern. The referee spotted that chop down on him as he broke the tackles. And Wexford will have a chance to go 2 in front.
Such a strange game, like it's just every time you look at the scoreboard, you know, one team are just ahead of the other. And like you mentioned there, you were almost like, you know, asking Wexford to get back into the game once TJ Reid started the second half like he did, and now Kilkenny are hoping TJ Reid fires back into the game like he did at the start of the second half again. So it's going to be a very interesting last quarter.
It certainly is. McGovern, who made his debut in the qualifiers against Carlow 9 years ago. As we said at the outset, 13 of the 15 the start of this game started that Leinster final 2 years ago. David Fitzgerald operates up a pretty small pool of players who he trusts immensely, including this man, one of his joint captains, Lee Chin, already with 8 scores today. Right down the middle. The lead is 2. Murphy looking for John Donnelly. Collected by Donoghue. Wexford just seem to have more energy at the moment. All the breaking balls going their way, and this one is sticking as well. Rory O'Connor, he has Dwyer inside him, and he just went down as he prepared to make his ultimate decision. Those sorts of chances really are those that would see Wexford over the line. David Fitzgerald beneath us with his head in his hands.
Well, I can't blame him, he was so unlucky. It was great play there. Great move again from Rory O'Connor. I was actually going to mention when you were talking about the small pool of players, it's the impact from the bench now, and can Wexford keep this intensity up with that small pool of players they have?
On top of TJ Reid, and it squirts all the way through to Fanning. Sees Liam McGovern in a little bit of space, brilliantly controlled. His opposite number is Fogarty, lost the hurling. Now Matthew O'Hanlon. Only look behind him. Thought he spotted a man in purple and gold. It was black and amber instead, and that free is crucial. And a chance for Kilkenny to get back to it in 1.
Yeah, Kilkenny need it. They need to settle back down now again and get back into their rhythm. The one thing that Walter Walsh coming on does is it actually allows TJ Reid to kind of move more closer to goal as soon as he comes in full forward. So it'll be interesting to see will he stay inside or he normally roams around. But Matthew Hanlon's after getting back on top of him again, so I see Kilkenny need him back in as quick as they can.
TJ Reid has won this competition 9 times, as well as All-Ireland. He's racked up at all levels with Kilkenny. He's into double figures for the day. Not quite the 118 he plundered against Wexford in the league, but it's kept his side ticking along nicely. Broken down by James Marr. A foul by Lee Chin. Essentially just another mini shift in the momentum in this game. It's ebbed and flowed really throughout. Outside have enjoyed several purple patches. So the free call by Fergal Horan. And it's going to give Owen Murphy the opportunity to go for goal from outside his own 45-metre line. Has that got the legs to make it? This would be the equalising score. Well, they are being reined in from way out the field from both sides. Owen Murphy with his 11th championship point, and we're level again.
That's a great score. Like, I know people give out about the weight of the sliotar and you know how it's affecting the game and stuff, but that's a skill. Like, he's on his own 45, has to drive it straight and through and has done so, and it's a massive score, and that'll give Kilkenny another little lift.
12 minutes remaining, nothing between them. Here is MacDonald. Starred under 21 level for Wexford, and now very much so with the seniors as well. Couldn't find a teammate there, and Kilkenny have broken one tackle, and suddenly the space has opened up for James Marr, looking for his second since coming in. Well, they were 2 down, and almost in the blink of an eye, they're back in the lead. Big puck out from Fanning. They've worked it into O'Connor, Jack O'Connor that is. And this time Kilkenny now are starting to get on top in those challenges and those breaking balls. Lee Chin, he's turning in a phone box in that congested area. This is Tommy Walsh. As Adrian Mullen for company, Walsh decides he can go himself. And over it goes from Tommy Walsh, the 23-year-old from Tullaroan. That's just his second ever championship point, and Kilkenny lead by 2 again.
I don't think he's going to get a better one. That was off the hurley on the run, under pressure, just over the bar, and a more important one as well. It's like every 5 minutes this game is changing. It's like Wexford take over Kilkenny, but for me it's when Kilkenny get the bodies to the break, they're getting way more possession, and they're after taking a little hold in the game then again. So now it's now Wexford's chance or opportunity to come back into it.
And it's the Cats that have got 5 of the last 6 points in the second half. They are absolutely on top when they were struggling no more than 3 or 4 minutes ago. Brilliant piece of scavengery there from John Donnelly. He's had a real impact since coming in. Pádraig Walsh now. His cousin has just fired one over from range. Walsh can't repeat the feat. Just a 5th wide for Kilkenny. Fanning goes long this time. They've really mixed it up. Oh, it's broken into the space. A chance for David Dunn. He's just in the field. Done for Wexford! Gets the goal that puts his side back in front. What a first touch for the man, introduced by Davy Fitzgerald just moments ago.
Pádraig Walsh was gone from the middle. He was just had to put the ball wide in the wing, and next thing a quicker puck out down the middle again. Ball was wide, as I said earlier, logo faster, straight through the middle, no one at home, and great goal for Wexford.
3rd championship goal for David Dunn. He took it well, sent Murphy the wrong way. And the momentum has shifted yet again. Lee Chin, 67 metres out from goal. Lee Chin with his 10th score of the afternoon. Well, this is breathless stuff at Croke Park.
It's one of the most extraordinary games I've ever witnessed. Like, you asked me 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago to call it. I still can't call it. It's incredible. You wouldn't put it past Kilkenny to come and get the next 3 or 4 scores. It's a great spectacle, and it's great to have people inside here. The atmosphere, even though there is only something like 8,000, the noise is brilliant.
Thankfully, we have 9 minutes plus injury time remaining. We're not done yet.
Extra
I
time?
believe, perhaps. Yeah, there will need to be a winner today, regardless of how we come across that victor. All we know at the moment is that Dublin await the winners in 2 weeks' time. Murphy went in over the head of TJ Ray. Oh, that's a big hit on Liam McGovern. And he bounced straight back to his feet. Referee has blown the whistle for the foul. McGovern has decided he just needs to take a breath or two, because that was a crunching collision. And it's a yellow card for John Donnelly.
That was some hit. I know it was illegal, but Jesus, you felt it up here. Again, I repeat myself from earlier, that's why he stood inside the small square. Didn't get too many of them, thank God.
There it is again. And he did, in fairness, try and line him up with the shoulder, but he was ducking into the challenge. Liam McGovern back to his feet. Mark Fanning, he's considering his options. I think he's going for this. He won't lack in distance, and he hasn't lacked in accuracy either, Mark Fanning.
Two great scores from the goalkeepers. Love to see it.
Right out of the Anthony Nash playbook.
Mine were wide.
Suddenly Kilkenny are back down, staring at a 3-point deficit. It's a foul from the onrushing Liam Ryan, who coughed up possession. TJ Reid, all of his experience, and look just to settle those around him and pop this one over the bar. James Bergen has come in for Alan Murphy. Bergen from the Connaughey Shamrocks club. He captained them to the All-Ireland Junior title last year at the age of just 20 years old. And he's come in for his championship debut with this game on a knife edge. Could he be the hero for Kilkenny in the coming minutes? Over it goes from TJ Reid, his 11th. Fanning taking his time. Nobody wants to be the man who makes the mistake that could cost their side a place in the Leinster final. Looks towards Lee Chin. Here is Conor MacDonald off his left side, and MacDonald has put that to the left and wide. Well, that could be a crucial score. A crucial miss is what it was in the end. A ball over the head of Lee Chin, who goes back for more, and he just shunts John Donnelly out of the way and squeezes the ball almost through the eye of the needle towards Diarmuid O'Keefe. Well, charging through the tackle illegally, so was Jack O'Connor in the eyes of the referee. TJ Reid has ordered those around him to keep their heads. He's made his way out the field to take this free in.
Davy Fitz is nearly inside by the referee with that. He wasn't happy at all. Kilkenny need this now, though. And it's still only going to bring it back to a 1-point game. Like, that's the thing, it's so close. Such a great finish, but some great work right there from Lee Chin coming back, and just Jack O'Connor was unlucky, to be fair, I thought.
He still hurls every ball. His time at Wexford has meant so much to him. He's watching TJ Reid lift and strike this effort from way out the field. Reid sends it goalwards, sends it over the bar, and Kilkenny yet again have clawed their way back to it in one. His 12th of the day.
That's a great score. I know it's a free, like, and people give out about the frees during the league and stuff like that, but that's massive. Like, that's a massive strike again from TJ Reid. So accurate as well.
I know the pressure that's on it with this game at the stage it is at the moment. Here is Lee Chin. It broke into space for him. Oh, and it's off the upright. He never caught it cleanly, Lee Chin. It's a couple of chances now Wexford have given away that really could have put them in a commanding position into this final 5 minutes. Helped on by Walter Welsh. and he might get it again. O'Hanlon watching him. Walter Welch pulls the trigger and puts it over the bar. It was Joe Canning territory over there on that far side, and we're level for the 10th time.
This is incredible. Like, it's just all the way up the field. He got that off Owen Murphy all the way back in his own 45. They worked it up and all the way over the bar. It's what a great game of hurling.
And with 44 championship appearances under his belt now, that's the sort of ammunition Brian Cody has on his bench. The referee is calling for this ball. Chance for everyone to go draw breath there. Kilkenny do come away with it eventually. And TJ Reid, who looked like he was being fouled, he's helped it on to John Donnelly, the man from Thomastown. Donnelly with another score for Kilkenny. And they've turned it around yet again. It almost has Cody dancing on the sideline. 3 minutes remaining. What a puck out from Fanning. Right on top of MacDonald, who's dropped it again. Looking to make space for the shot. Out towards Liam Oak-McGovern. And Liam Oak-McGovern has a go, and he finds his mark as well. His second of the game. It is like two heavyweight boxers slugging it out in the final round of a championship bout. And both teams very much still standing. That's broken through for Kilkenny, and Owen Cody. Cody for goal! Owen Cody with potentially the knockout blow. What a huge, huge moment for the young man. His first ever championship goal.
Great composure on the finish there. Hurley's flying all over him. What a great finish in 60 hit minute.
Here's Lee Chin at the other end of the field, being fouled by Pádraig Walsh. And a yellow card for the Kilkenny centre half back. But it's one he'll take at this stage, Anthony. Kilkenny now need to ensure they don't concede a goal.
This is one of the most exciting games of hurling that I've ever witnessed. It's just ebbed and flowed. No team have grabbed a hold of it for more than 5 to 10 minutes. The other team to get up again, and like you described, it is like a heavyweight punch. Ball from the 12th round just swinging like, and hopefully connect.
Lee Chin moves to 11. Or will it be enough? I wonder how much injury time there'll be. We could do a 10 or 15 minutes of it. The entertainment value has been that good. Here's Tommy Walsh. Sent long by Walsh, down on top of TJ Reid again. Eventually coming out with it is Mossy Keown. Behind him, calling for it was Bergen, who's blocked away. Down over towards Adrian Mullen, and out it goes. Some attention needed for Sean Murphy. Well, it's been so many players, Anthony, that have repressed this today, and it's very difficult to pick a man of the match, but who have you gone with in the end?
Like we spoke at the start of the game about the big three and the big players in each team. Rory O'Connor had a great start. Conor McDonald kind of died out, Lee Chin continuously, but I thought for every part of the game that Kilkenny were in, and especially when it was needed to start the second half, TJ Reid, he's been involved with all the good play for Kilkenny. He's frees again, and I know from open play people mightn't have said he had the game, but there were some massive scores from frees, and he gave even his hand pass and work right there for Walter Walsh's score. So for me, TJ Reid.
3 points from play as well for TJ Reid, the centre man of the match. Will that man of the match emerge on the victorious side? It looks that way at the moment, but you'd be rather foolish to predict it even at this late stage. Anything can still happen here. And there he is, Reid again, looking down from the air. 5 additional minutes. Here is Shane Wreck now. Wexford felt he was being fouled. Certainly Davy did on the sideline. Ball over the head of Simon Donoghue, looking to beat Bergen to it. And he's won the free out. There's plenty of time for Wexford to save themselves here. They drew a couple of years ago in the round-robin stage of the Leinster Championship. Wexford would certainly take a draw now, you feel, and take their chances in extra time. We've seen Dublin come up with a huge performance to beat Galway. Wexford at times in this second half looked like they joined them in that final. Wexford now looking to bring Conor Furman in. Well, Mark Fanning is standing over this free. And the pressure could not be greater. If he goes for goal, he simply has to make it. Give his side a real fighting chance. As he pulled it, it's going to drop short, and Owen Murphy never took his eye off it. Targeting Donnelly with his ball out the field. Liam McGovern still fun of running. The fitness and athleticism from these players, who must be tiring by now. In towards Lee Chin. Couldn't gather it. Possession absolutely vital here. And that's a push in the back on Conor MacDonald. It'll be an easy chance for Wexford to go do it in one.
Yeah, this game is far from over. The next puck out's going to be very interesting as well.
Furman has come in as Lee Chin tops this one over the bar. Chin with his 11th, 26th point of the day for Wexford. And they would have been rocked by that Owen Cody goal, but they've found the resolve, the wherewithal to come back into it. Maybe one more Kilkenny score might be enough. Will this be it? No. Short into the hands of Fanning. Wexford will have a chance here. 2 minutes remaining. That's an awful ball from the goalkeeper, and Liam Ryan kept his composure. Leaves Reid in his wake. Ryan looking for the equaliser. Batted away by Murphy, and it's flicked to the net. That's an incredible goal. Conor MacDonald. Well, the referee's going in for a look at it. The green flag was raised. Well, late drama here. Conor MacDonald was under that ball. That was juggled under his bar by Owen Murphy.
The umpire seems to have given the point to say Owen Murphy's hurley was diagonally behind the crossbar, and that's what the discussion's going to be about here. Owen Murphy's hoping to God he didn't save a point this time.
Well, we're going to Hawkeye essentially to decide whether or not Wexford have won this game. As we enter the final minute of injury time, it's either a goal that has Wexford 2 up or a point that will drive us towards extra time.
What more is this game going to give us?
This is absolutely incredible. Was this ball over the bar from Liam Ryan, the Wexford fullback? He'll be desperately hoping it wasn't, of course. Well, it is going to be a point. The goal won't stand for Conor MacDonald. And it is 30 points apiece. 127 with 30 seconds remaining, and still time, Anthony, for a potential winner.
Does Hawkeye judge whether it's over or just in between? I'd love to know that. We're after taking away from an incredible score though from Liam Ryan. Like, what a great score.
Well, very rarely has a player in Croke Park wished he hadn't scored. Perhaps never. Here come Wexford and Liam McGovern. Oh, the drama, it's quite incredible. Sent long by Paddy Deegan. We're into a 6th additional minute here at Croke Park. O'Hanlon goes down beneath the tackle. Fanning will come out to hit it. Well, Anthony, you've been in these sorts of positions. He's midway between the 21 and his own 45. Has he got it in his range? I don't think he does. He's leaving it to Kevin Foley, who will drive it long, and they'll take their chances from there.
They're going to work it short. He's looking to work it short. I think it was actually Mark Fanning he was looking at, but in fairness, he's after pushing up on it there. Now Mark Fanning's coming out to take it.
Well, there are 8,000 in Croke Park today. It feels like there's an awful lot more than that. But every single one of them, no matter what the county background will be on the edge of their seats here. Mark Fanning looking to send Wexford to the Leinster final. Otherwise, we're likely looking at extra time. Here it comes from the Wexford goalkeeper. It's tailing away to the left. Brilliant take from Paddy Deegan, and the referee has blown the whistle. Full time. What an extraordinary second half, in particular last 10 minutes we've had here. But in the end, Anthony, they can't be separated.
Both teams deserve, well, another crack off it. Like, there was no winner out there today. Like, even go back to that match, it was so difficult to pick them because everybody had fits and spurts and played well, and both teams deserve another crack at this, and it's brilliant for us. I'm delighted, and I'm sure all the spectators here are as well and at home.
Well, there's the full-time score. Incredible rating, really. 127 apiece, both sides led by 3 points at various stages in the last 10 minutes alone. It looked like Conor MacDonald had won the game for Wexford with that flick to the net. But Owen Murphy will be thankful, Anthony, he failed to keep that ball on the field of play.
I've never seen that before, especially with Hawkeye since it's come into the game, like whether to judge whether it's gone over the bar or not. It'd be interesting to find out if that is the case. It obviously is if they're going to it. But like, he saved 2 in the first half as well, and you know, when he was going up for it,
We're going to cut to there, Anthony. Plenty more to come from Anthony Nash. We've extra time incoming. Let's go back to the guys in studio. That's the man at the centre of it. Killian Buckley just wants to get out there and hurl and see if he can get his county into another Leinster decider. They've decided that they have everything sorted. And away we go. 127 apiece. Both sides have had the upper hand multiple times over the course of the game. And towards Eamog McGovern, it's gathered by Deegan. It's a dangerous ball across the field from Deegan, straight to the Wexford co-captain. It's popped into the path of Conall Flood, who rounds the goalkeeper. And Owen Murphy could be in a lot of trouble here. The referee has decided a goal-scoring opportunity was denied. Murphy will be shown a yellow card, and a penalty has been given. Just seconds into the first period of extra time, and Owen Murphy will have to leave the field.
This could be absolutely massive, so assuming Kilkenny have to take off an outfielder and put a goalie in, is it? This game just doesn't stop giving. You know, in fairness to him, look, if it was the old days, he would have absolutely nailed him down. It's the right decision, I suppose, but he knows he's gone for 10 minutes, and potentially is it a penalty? He's after giving a referee penalty. Mark Fanning's going up to take it, so it could be a goal for Wexford, and Kilkenny with 10 or 14 men for 10 minutes.
So in comes Darren Brennan, who hasn't played in the championship since 2019 when he faced Galway. It's his 4th appearance in senior championship hurling. The 24-year-old from St. Locton's facing Mark Fanning for Wexford, and he can't keep it out. It's squeezed over the line. The man who got the penalty in the Leinster final 2 years ago has got another today, and Darren Brennan was a whisker away from keeping it out.
Oh, it was a great effort by Darren Brennan, in fairness, and that is just heartbreak to see it crawl over the line. Well struck from Mark Fanning, but in fairness to Darren, it was great effort and very unlucky.
The 3rd championship goal for Mark Fanning. Wexford lead by 3, and Kilkenny have won a free almost immediately, and TJ Reid will add to his tally, move it to 13, and the gap will be down to 2. Well, immediately after the resumption, we've had another injection of drama and intrigue into this Leinster semi-final.
That's incredible. Interesting, what will Wexford do? They normally have one sweeper, obviously. Now they've got the extra man, so what are they going to do with Foley? Will they push him up and create someone else, or keep him? But it's a team you don't want to give an extra man to as Wexford, because they're so good with the ball.
Well, that's exactly what has happened. Foley has immediately gone out in and around midfield. So the message was very quick in getting on there. Matthew O'Hanlon has now gone back into play the sweeper role in and around his full back line. And that's a foul, a chop down by Hugh Lawler, and a free in for Wexford. He'll have a chance to go back 3 in front.
This new rule has the potential to actually finish off a game. It's correct, I understand what they're trying to do, stop the goal-scoring opportunities from being halted illegally, but now you've 10 minutes here, and especially in extra time when you've only got to 20 minutes, Wexford could pull away here quite handily.
There's a psychological blow as well, knowing you're down to 14, that your goalkeeper, who's one of the best in the business, has been forced to leave the field. So Lee Chin, who already has 12 to his name. You won't want to see that one again. Darren Brennan with his puck out down that Kazakhstan side. Well, no longer needing the floodlights on here at Croke Park, as the sun has long since dipped in behind the clouds. Here is John Donnelly. Donnelly down on top of Mark Fanning. And it's been flicked over the bar. That's a really good finish in the end from Cody as it came in from Donnelly. That's 1-4 for the reigning young hurler of the year. What a day he's had.
It was great skill there. He's very unlucky not to get a goal. And actually started to cramp up a little bit. It just shows the intensity that's gone into the 70 minutes here. No, Water was very unlucky.
Well, they conceded that penalty immediately after the restart. Kilkenny have responded exactly as you would expect them to, as they have done all day. There's Liam McGovern with no hurley, but he had the hand pass available to him. A bit of stick work finds Gavin Bailey, trying to get away from Deegan, and he's drawn the foul. Matty O'Hanlon after getting it from his wing back. And the foul's just been committed pretty freely by Paddy Deegan, who's already on a yellow card. Kilkenny can ill afford to go down to 13. The next man down with cramp is Kevin Foley. He's struggling just beneath our commentary position here, in behind Lee Chin.
3 Wexford players have gone down with cramp there a second ago, and it just shows, and even on Cody inside as well. Like, this is the first championship match at like real pace now, like, you know, so these players are going to start feeling it now in the extra time.
Richie missed his last. And he's found his form pretty quickly. It's his 13th. So the lead is 2 again. Just under 5 minutes remaining in this first period of extra time. Walter Welsh beat to it. Goes all the way back to Ryan. His equalising point sent us into extra time. Here is Conor MacDonald. I think the challenge is coming in. He just pulled out of the strike. That was a clever piece of play. Liam McGovern drops it. The mistakes will happen a bit more frequently as tired bodies lead to tired minds, and the free won by Walter Walsh.
In fairness to Liam McGovern, of all the players in the country, he covers some ground for Wexford, and he was actually one of the guys down cramping there, so it just looks a little tired. And interesting to see, will Davey kind of start ringing in a few changes to keep the energy up.
Dermot O'Keefe has been prepared for a return to the play. And it is Liam McGovern who's coming off. There is TJ Reid. Himself and Lee Chin with 13 points apiece. So Reid looking to manage his way in front in that little contest. A long way from goal though, must be 69, 70 metres. Well, if the posts were a metre apart, he would have bisected them anyway. That's his 14th score, 11 of which have come from place balls. Lead down to 1 again. Fanning goes short towards Liam Ryan. O'Hanlon. There was a runner outside him in Foley, who hasn't been that far forward at any stage in the game. Walter Walsh is now really having an impact in the game, won it back for Kilkenny. Lovely ball from Reid into Cody, who just left it behind him. Just peels back into the space from where he came to make the opportunity a bit easier. Over it goes, 1-5 from a young man who's fast becoming one of Kilkenny's most lethal forwards. Level yet again for the 14th time.
It might be course for bringing up rugby here, but in sin bin terms, Kilkenny have done very well to keep the score, and now they're back level again. A great ball in there from TJ Reid, very intelligent to put it outside of him, and Owen Cody used his body to shepherd it in. A great score. And as I said, like, Kilkenny have been down to 14 men now for 8 minutes and back level. Great performance so far.
They've got 4 of the last 5 scores since Owen Murphy was binned. That ball flicked in by Killian Buckley, but he didn't put enough on it to find TJ Reid. Oh, he's made life very awkward for his man, and Wexford will breathe a sigh of relief. Foley sidestep one tackle and finds Simon Donoghue. Bounces off Paddy Deegan. Here is Chin. Making a real effort to get to him was Killian Buckley. Chin knew he had time and space around him, but he's put that to the left and wide. Wexford's 12th in comparison to just 5 for Kilkenny.
Yeah, he took a heavy hit there from Killian Buckley, but in fairness, Kilkenny, like, down to 14 men, but they're still getting the bodies to the contact. Yeah, in fairness to them, it's a fantastic performance. Like, at this stage of the game, they're out on their feet. There's players cramping, getting hurt all over the field, and Kilkenny are still putting in a great shift with 14 men. You'd expect nothing else from Brian Cody's team, I suppose.
And they surrendered big leads to Dublin and Waterford in last year's championship. They beat Dublin. They were proper against Waterford. They were 4 points up at one stage today, but Wexford can say the same. Neither side really got out of sight. Paddy Deegan, thankfully for Kilkenny, is fit and able to continue. Brennan's book out.
Good evening and welcome to Semple Stadium. It is Cork against
Foley. Don't want to give the ball away here. Foley again, a bit more direct down towards Rory O'Connor, who was quiet in the second half. Gathers out of the second time of asking, and he was being pulled back as he drove inside. And Wexford will have a chance to go back in front as we head towards half-time and extra time.
Frees aren't a killer, I suppose, for Kilkenny at this stage, because it does take time to take the free, and it eats into Owen Murphy's time off the field. So I know they won't like to give up the score, but there's another 30 seconds gone off the clock. Get him back in, get back to 15, and they'll be delighted to be probably a point down at half-time after this.
We'll have one additional minute. We're already halfway through that.
1 minute, please, 1 minute additional.
So Lee Chin has missed a couple from place balls and from play, looking for his 14th and to join TJ Reid on that mark. And over it goes. And Kilkenny will emerge from the half-time break with their full quota of 15. That may be the final passage of play involving Darren Brennan. There is the half-time whistle. There's just 1 point between them. What a game we are enjoying here. Half-time and extra time, and still there's almost nothing to separate these two sides. It is Kilkenny 132, Wexford 228, the minimum between the sides. Let's go back to Thurles and get the thoughts of our studio panel. Owen Murphy is back on the field for Kilkenny. Wexford will shortly introduce Cathal Dunbar. I come on for the last 10 minutes or so of the 2019 Leinster final. He'll get a similar amount of game time here. Although, Anthony, we were just going through the numbers at half-time and extra time. There were 5 men on that Wexford bench that had yet to be introduced, and yet they were bringing the likes of Dermot O'Keefe in for a second time.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that he seems to not trust those players, but just use the same group of players all the time, just in the system. But an interesting one there just before the half-time there. Lee Chin took a bit of a heavy knock from Killian Buckley, and he was getting a lot of medical treatment at that half-time. He's now gone in full forward on top of Hugh Lawler, isolated one-on-one in the edge of the square there, so it's either because of the injury or it's just a tactical move, but it'll be interesting to see can he get enough ball inside there.
Well, this sideline cut to be taken by TJ Reid. He's one of those players in the country that can stick it over the bar from there, but that's not his best effort. Gathered by Shane Wright. Another Damien is on the bench as well, but no sign of him coming in as yet. That's a really good piece of work from James Bergen, who chased down a lost cause. It's led to a shooting opportunity for Kilkenny, which they haven't taken.
James alluded to there at half-time, like, their mistakes will creep in. Like, we have to give these players credit no matter what happens in the last 10 minutes, the effort they've put in. So wides and mistakes will happen.
Flannan goes long. On top of a Wexford half-forward line that has been now shorn of Lee Chin. He's in there on the edge of the square. And the latest player to start suffering from cramp is Pádraig Walsh, and he can barely walk at the moment. Kilkenny come away again, and they've won the free. Billy Ryan, who has himself been reintroduced, having been taken off earlier in the game. And this will be a drawn game yet again. Kevin Foley goes into the referee's notebook.
And he's limping now.
He's struggling to put one foot in front of the other himself. Kilkenny will be hoping that's not the case for this man. TJ Reid looking for his 15th score. This will be 133 in 2 appearances against Wexford alone this season. They're astonishing numbers. Level for the 15th time. Over 80 minutes in injury time has failed to separate these teams. And the spectre of penalties will shortly begin to loom large over this fixture. And that would be historic indeed. And that's a really good bit of work from Reid. Took the ball off Conor Furman, who's only been introduced by Wexford. Kilkenny looking to go in front. Well, that penalty conceded in the sin binning of Owen Murphy seemed like a body blow at the time, but somehow they've turned it around. And James Bergen is the cat's ahead again.
That's class from TJ Reid. He actually told Killian Buckley to go back and pick up his man so he could come up and get the tackle in, but to get the tackle in and have the intelligence without the hurley to give the hand pass, just that's the kind of work he does that's unseen as well.
Referred to a first point in championship hurling for Bergen. Sean Murphy helps the ball inside, or Shane Reck has suddenly joined the full forward line. And the key men of the Wexford attack, O'Connor, MacDonald, Lee Chin, they've all gone quiet. Kilkenny are on top again here and have really been on top since that penalty. Ball sliced down the left-hand side towards Bergen. Bergen off his right side. Fanning waits and watches. He can't prevent it going over. A 2-point lead with just over 6 minutes remaining, and James Bergen has come to the party.
That started with Hugh Lawler going over to get the ball, and a great ball back to Owen Murphy, who struck an unbelievable pass up the wing, but Lee Chin couldn't follow Hugh Lawler. He just doesn't seem to be moving as well as he normally does.
Bergen was winning a Leinster title with the Kilkenny under-20s when Wexford last won the senior championship. And here he is strutting his stuff for the seniors now. 6 minutes left. Kilkenny lead by 2. They were 3 down after that penalty concession. Back out it goes to Murphy, who hit 2 great scores in normal time. This could be a goal opportunity. What a save from Owen Murphy. Rory O'Connor was clean through. He certainly didn't drag the man down there. It was a brilliant piece of Kilkenny goalkeeping.
What a save.
Now John Donnelly. And another chance for Kilkenny and Billy Ryan to put them 3 in front. That's a 4-point turnaround. It could easily have been a goal at the other end. Donnelly gets his second.
Well, Murphy's giving fist pumps there. Like that's his score, and it's actually a 4-point swing. That was the reactions. Look how close he was when he got. That's an incredible reaction save. Worked it all the way up the field again and over the bar. It's a 4-point swing for Kilkenny there.
And Billy Ryan second. And it's just non-stop this game. Here is Liam Ryan, the man who sent us to extra time, and that's a tired effort from him from the middle of the field at 13th Wexford wide.
Kevin Foley's really struggling here now. He's limping back in again. And Lee Chin is going off, is he? Yeah, he wasn't moving since that Killian Buckley hit.
Well, they brought in Cathal Dunbar, who scored a point in off the bench against Laois. There's the left leg of Lee Chin that's given him trouble. Certainly looks like what a take from Walter Walsh, towering above the Wexford defence. Walsh for Kilkenny! Rifled home, and that may well be the Wexford spirit broken. Walter Walsh made that himself, caught it in the air and put it beyond Mark Fanning. They now lead by 6, which is as much as either side is led by at any stage of this game.
JJ referred to him. I think he's been the game changer since he came on. Like, his physicality alone, but that's such an intelligent finish. Like, you've no Lee Chin gone off the field, Kevin Foley struggling with an injury, and then that goal for Kilkenny. Looks like they're going to pull away.
This could be a harrowing few minutes for Wexford. They've lost all their shape, so they have. Here's Owen Cody, back out to TJ Reid. The points will do now. Incredible that they trail by 3, Anthony, in extra time. It's a 10-point turnaround in extra time alone.
Look, you can never write off Kilkenny at any stage. Like, you still see Brian Cody out in the middle of the field roaring. They've just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. Wexford seem to have tired a small bit, but it's just their game plan. It just takes so much energy.
Well, they were millimetres away from winning the game. Hawkeye intervened with the last puck of the 70 minutes. And there's another man down with cramp in purple and gold. Have they any fight left in them? Kilkenny now look like a side full of energy, full of belief. They're on top in every facet of the game now. Walter Welsh, he's just got the goal. That's going to drop short. Wexford are hurling with 14 at the moment. Can't quite see who it is getting the treatment. Ball is going to cross to Conall Flood. He should be one of the fresher players in this Wexford side, but not fresh enough to find the target. A 14th wide, and in comparison to the 6 that have been hit wide by Kilkenny, that's another strand to this game that Wexford will be ruining.
To be fair to Wexford, they've put in an absolute fantastic shift, so there's no criticism, but they just seem to be tiring a small bit. I think it's actually Diarmuid O'Keefe that's on the ground when he was reintroduced, so he's now done cramping after being brought back in.
Another ball in towards TJ Reid, 33 years of age, and he doesn't look like he is struggling physically at all. And that has just tailed away to the left and wide. Well, only a miracle will save Wexford now. In comes Conor Hearn for Wexford to make his championship debut. The Wexford Club Hurler of the Year last year is his club side. Shilmaliers won the county title. Diarmuid O'Keefe withdrawn for the 2nd time in this game, and I think Anthony Davy Fitzgerald knows that his side's race is run. They need to rouse themselves now for a run through the back door.
Kilkenny's bench made the difference for me. Walter Walsh, James Bergen came in and got some great scores as well. You've Killian Buckley, like, that's a serious bench to have to bring on, and they've made a big difference.
John Donnelly as well with a score. There's Paul Morris back on as well. Several Wexford players have been taken off and brought back in. It's a clever ball inside to Jack O'Connor, but he just lost control of it at the last second. Owen Murphy will win the free out for Kilkenny now.
That's great goalkeeping. I hope we get to see a replay of that there, because Padraig Walsh carried the ball across the square and got deflected here. You see how close again the ball was to Owen Murphy, and he gets to control it. That's a great reaction and composure, and took a heavy hit in from Foley, but great goalkeeping again. He wasn't too happy with Padraig there. You can see him giving a bit of a shout.
Kilkenny to reach yet another Leinster final under Brian Cody. They're really cruising there now. A game in which Wexford have asked them pretty much every question they could have done. Mark Fanning will drop this in and around the house and hope for the best. Anywhere will do for Kilkenny at this stage. Just playing down the clock now. Killian Buckley sends it long. 1 additional minute at the end of extra time. At the end of one of the great Kilkenny-Wexford battles that we've seen in recent times. Wexford came so close to winning it. Might feel they should have won it. And in the end, it's going to be Kilkenny. And we're leading by 7.
It's not the finish this game deserved. It had everything, you know. I see Kevin Foley there being helped up off his feet. Like, you know, Davy Fitz, I'm sure, will come out in the after-match interviews and say how proud he is of him. And I hope everyone at home would be as well to see what we saw in person today. Has been a phenomenal game, and as I said, just it's not the finish it deserved, but what a great game of hurling.
And after a terrible 2020, Wexford will certainly be encouraged by the manner of the performance today, but they'll be absolutely gutted with the result. And further damage being inflicted here, potentially. And over the bar it goes, fired home by Michael Carey, son of the great DJ Carey, who's come on to make his championship debut and score his first point in senior championship hurling. The referee's call for the ball. Kilkenny have won the most epic of battles by 8 points at the end, but that final scoreline does not in any way tell the story of what has been an incredible couple of hours here at Croke Park. They qualify Kilkenny for a 20th Leinster final under the stewardship of Brian Cody. Full time, finally, at Croke Park. It is finished. Kilkenny 2:37, Wexford 2:29.
What a game.